YouTube? What's going on Facebook? What's going on internet and all that good stuff? It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And it's nonsense making time right about now. So to make sense out of nonsense, you must first identify the nonsense. Then accurately assess the nonsense while exposing the nonsense, okay? And you expose it with rationale, logic, common sense, things like that. Sometimes embarrassment, which I'm going to have to do tonight. Because, see, some people refuse to acknowledge their lack of common sense and their nonsense. So you have to use the method of embarrassment and belittling of intelligence to show them, to help them recognize how ridiculous they sound. You know, you got to point that mess out sometime and be like, now, I want you to think about this, okay? Like my buddy's dad used to do when he used to pop him in the face, you know, pop him and then make him think about it. Like, now think about it. Don't say another word. Just walk away. Now think about it. Leave you sitting there holding the lip like, what'd I do? And if you sit long enough, you'll figure it out. Now, let's get into the night show. But before we do that, got a couple announcements to make. One, the number behind me is, if you see it, it is right on the screen. Hold on, let me get that light out my eyeballs. I'm trying to save the little bit of sight that I have left. All right, so that number right behind me is 330-974-4607. And if you text MAGA to that number, it will help you stay in touch with me the best that I can, so that YouTube, just in case they want to unexist me or, you know, keep you from knowing when I, you know, upload a new video or I go live, you'll have access to that. And I promise not to bug you too much through a bunch of group texts and all that stuff. Now, I will confirm that you are in Kevin's Corner when you text that to me. It might not be right away because I'm backdating and filling in a lot of requests, which they're not requests. Once you do it, you're already in. I just want you to know it's me. See, I don't want you to be thinking, I text a random number. I have no idea who that person is. I want you to know it's me. Now, so if you do that, please, that'll help me, and it help me keep my subscribers together so that they can't be separated through shenanigans that go on YouTube. Also, our little fundraiser, guys. Let me see here. All right. Some of you all have been so kind to participate in a fundraiser that I'm trying to do per month. Call it my $5 a month fundraiser. And we are chugging along. We have how many days left? Let me see. 10 days left. So if you want to be so kind as to support my channel and what I do, so I don't have to solely rely on YouTube and their ads and their shenanigans, and even sponsors, because if YouTube mess with my numbers and my subscribers, it also, unfortunately, impacts my sponsorship. So if you want to help offset that, I put the link right below the About section so that all you got to do is click on it and you can donate to my monthly campaign, $5 or whatever you want. It don't matter. And I also want to thank some people who sent me some stuff in the mail too. So thank you so much for those blessings. Hallelujah. Yeah, I call that a mailbox blessing. And then finally, I have some news to break to you all. I'm not one to usually even share information like this, but because of the last 2.5 years that you all have been with me and watching my show, you all have gotten wind that my father was sick. I couldn't hide it because y'all would hear him sometime making all kind of noise and would stop my show, and I'd have to stop and go tend to him. He was suffering from dementia, which miraculously just showed up out of nowhere right after he got his COVID shots. But he finally has succumbed to the dementia, and he passed away a few weeks ago. But, you know, I felt that it was proper to let you guys know, because I often see people asking, you know, how's old man Teddy? You know, and I'm not one to become sentimental. And, you know, I don't like a lot of, feel bad for your Kev. Oh, you know, I'm saying, which I thank people for caring. I really do. But I never want people to look at the situation like it's a sad story. because I was blessed to have my father for 80, how many? Let's see, 87 years? 87 years. Not to mention, when he became sick, I didn't know if he was going to make it. The first day he declined, I said to myself, that's it. My dad's about to die. I really thought he was going to die right then. And, he survived 2.5 more years, which, to have your parent, it's kind of like a grace period to have an extension when you look at the scenario and you say, man, this is bad. And then you get 2.5 more years with your parent, you really don't have a sad song to sing. However, I do, grieve over how he ended up, going that route. And I will tell you this much. That is one route that I do not want to go. And that has nothing to do with my suspicions about the vaccines and all that stuff. With me, seeing what dementia does to someone, that's why I can't understand how they let Joe Biden continue to put himself under all that stress for what? I mean, I would have never let my father go out there and do all of that crap that they got Joe Biden doing. Not to mention allowing him to be embarrassed, because the question becomes, does he even know he's embarrassing himself? But the family does. And a family member should be protecting their parent, protecting their loved ones from shame, from embarrassment, things like that. I mean, I knew how my father was prior to him becoming sick. And I was very protective of him, even if he wasn't aware of it, because he would have times of vulnerability that I would say, I'm not going to let somebody else see him like this. I'm not going to let somebody see his shame. I'm not going to let somebody see, his confusion, his incompetence in these areas, because I know the best of Teddy ran circles around me, So I wanted him to go out with his integrity intact, and I did the best that I could. And I look at those 2.5 years as a light affliction compared to all of the years of sacrifice that my father has made for me. So I have no sad song to sing, and he'll be greatly missed. He is the last of the patriarchs in my family, and it's kind of interesting, as a child, long as your parents lurking out there somewhere, you're like, I got a fallback plan. There's one person above me, just in case the crap hits the fan. And then when that person's gone and you realize you're at the top of the food chain, all of a sudden you're like, man, if crap go belly up, it's all me. And I think he's equipped me through wisdom, through discipline down the years to prepare me for this moment. So I thank God for him. I thank God for all the years that he's allowed me to enjoy my father's life. So, and I thank all of you for going through this journey with me and being patient and just, asking about him and worrying about him and praying for him. So I want to thank all of you all. All right. So with no further ado, guys, let's get into what we're going to be talking about tonight, y'all. But don't forget, text this number, hit the like button. Make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure your notifications are turned on to all the stuff that I have to do just to do a live stream and make sure you guys know what's going on. Yeah. So do all of that. Now, let me get loose before I do what I do. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. So, guys, we look like we got us a situation, y'all. Y'all see this big nose, jolly green giant on that screen? And I'm not talking about Trump. Y'all see that guy with that milk dud head? Milk dud brings all the dummies in the yard, and his life is better than yours. That big dummy right there, who is gloating and laughing about President Trump's mugshot. Let's hear how he gloats. What the crap? Now, if you're one to study human behavior, you'll quickly realize this is a forced laugh. This is not a genuine laugh. This is a mocking, sarcastic, forced laugh. This guy's not real. He's fake, just like many of the Democrats are. When they go down to the border and they pretend to cry and all of that, no tears are coming out, though. No tears are coming out. Just like all of those big for nothing dudes that they sent up to the Capitol to lie on Donald Trump and talk about how they was almost killed at the Capitol. And they out there the whole time like, I was so scared. Not one tear's raining down their eyes. I wanted to run out there and be like, hold up, wait. There you go. All right, now, and action. I know I'm the biggest man out there, and I also had a gun, and I'm a police officer and should be trained for this. But I was scared for my life. They's almost killed me. Said, you just go back to where you came from, boy. I was hurt on the inside. All of that. No tears coming down whatsoever. So now, just like laughter, this guy's not really laughing. Force. He sounded like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear when he was inside of the dang on theater, like, over the top, just trying to mock Trump. And you know what ends up happening when you're doing shenanigans like this. Look, so forced.
We got you!
All coming from here. You know when you have a real good laugh, it comes from the gut. You got that Santa Claus jolly laugh. Oh, when I busted out laughing one time after seeing something that was so funny, I thought I was going to die. Because it was coming from the bow. When I'm up here sometimes and I bust myself up laughing while I'm cutting on these darn Democrats and can't stop, those are real laughs. I'm not one to fake or muster up a laugh, okay? Yeah, so when you see me interrupt my show to laugh at a stupid joke I done said, it's because it's funny. Like the one, if you never seen my show where I was cutting on the one dude, when I recognized he had a perfectly shaped egghead, I couldn't stop laughing. My stomach was killing me. I knew I had to get back on task, but it was a real laugh. Or the one live stream where I identified that dude that looked like Gary Coleman. And the whole time, every time I looked at the screen, I'm seeing nothing but, what you talking about, Willis? I could not stop laughing. I'm sitting there in my mind like, can't pull it back together. But this laugh? So, let's see where this goes.
Ooh, we got you.
Do you?
And more to come.
A few moments later.
I'm sure this is a part of insurrection.
We got you.
This is J6? Is this J6?
Clown, thug, crook, criminal.
Clown, thug, crook, criminal. Oh my. Why is he dropping all of these hurtful words out there like that about President Trump, y'all? So now let's see what's going on in this background footage. I'm sure what we're hearing is a fire alarm pulled during J6 and the attack on the Capitol. The greatest attack on the homeland. That's right. I'm sure that's what we're listening to, right? Along with that fake laugh.
And just before the House was scheduled to vote on that funding bill,
the insurrectionist white nationalists came in and pulled their fire alarm and start tearing up the joint and almost grabbed Mike Pence and hung him and then almost killed Nancy Pelosi. That's what you're about to tell me, lady?
New York Congressman Jamaal Bowman pulled a fire alarm inside the Cannon House office building. This photo has just been released by U.S. Capitol Police. Congressman Bowman told reporters he was
No way, y'all. Not the dude that was just mustering up laughs. I thought only white nationalist, insurrectionist Trump supporters do stuff like that. That man right there, he ain't even cover up that big fat milk dug with a MAGA hat. This is unbelievable. What kind of shenanigans is going on here? Let's see if we can get to the bottom of it. I'm sure he has a legitimate reason and excuse.
trying to get through a door and thought the alarm would open that door. His spokesperson says it was an accident and that the congressman regrets any confusion. Some Republicans in the House want Bowman censured for his actions. Capitol Police say they are investigating.
And I do want to get to the latest.
No, wait. Let's give this big fat bag of nothing the benefit of the doubt, guys. Let's at least wait around to hear his excuse of why he pulled that alarm.
On another story that we have been following, all related to this, as Democratic Representative Jamaal Bowman acknowledged triggering a fire alarm Saturday in one of the U.S. Capitol office buildings as lawmakers did scramble to pass a bill to fund the government before that midnight shutdown deadline. The fire alarm sounded out around noon in the Cannon House office building and prompted a building-wide evacuation at a time when the House wasn't.
Isn't that obstructing a congressional meeting and all that stuff? He's interfered with Congress. This is surely falling under the same law as the insurrection and all of that stuff, right? He's about to go. Where's what's his name? Mayor Garlick. Isn't he supposed to be sliding down a rope somewhere right now to arrest this man? Where is Raggedy Ray and the Frogmen? Where are all of the boats and stuff? Where's the helicopters? Where's the facial recognition? You don't need no facial recognition to know who that is. All you got to do is look at the silhouette of that big fat milk dud from the side. If I've never seen his face at all, as soon as you show me this clip right here, I go, that's Milk Dud head, Jamaal Bowman. Yeah, you didn't know that? Nobody's head looks like that from the side. I know that Milk Dud anywhere. So let's go ahead and see how they respond to Milk Dud brings out. Let's see.
Session, and staffers were working in the building. The building was reopened an hour later after Capitol Police determined it was not a threat. The GOP-controlled House Administration Committee, which does oversee issues pertaining to the Capitol complex, posted this picture right here on your screen of a person pulling the fire alarm who did appear to be Bowman. Now, the New York lawmaker told reporters hours later that it was a mistake, and he was rushing to get to votes and was trying to get through a door that is usually open, but was...
Boy, Democrats say the darndest things. I should start a new sitcom called Democrats Say the Darndest Things, y'all. Can you believe this? Now, see, first of all, they're raggedy criminals. They are the most incompetent criminals ever. They leave evidence everywhere. They're totally unaware of modern day technology and how you can barely blow your nose without them being able to find you, see who did it. That's why I absolutely know they know who had that cocaine in the White House. Absolutely know that. They were able to see Lauren Boebert having a good time in that theater in the dark amongst all of those people. Yeah, but for some reason, couldn't figure out how to find out who had that nose candy up in the White House. Isn't that interesting? So now this guy must be the most impulsive, ignorant criminal ever. Okay, you're in a very highly secured building and you go down there and you do that. And then your excuse is, I thought that I was pulling something else. I thought it would open the door. And now let's go ahead and put on our Columbo eye so we can figure this out. Tell me again how you thought that pulling the fire alarm would open the door. That's what I got to do. Now I got to go Columbo. So let's finish hearing all of the evidence before we cast judgment.
Was closed due to it being a weekend. Now, he did release a statement here just last night. I do want to show it to you. It's fairly lengthy, but he says, I want to personally clear up confusion surrounding today's events. Today, as I was rushing to make a vote, I came to a door that is usually open for votes, but today would not open. I'm embarrassed to admit.
How about you go to another door, man? You go to the door that's usually open, but that today was not open. So how do you solve that? How do you problem solve that, Milk Dud? That's what I want to know. See, this is rational stuff that should be going through everybody's mind as they're listening to this sorry behind excuse that Democrats will use, because they will say the darndest things. And because they feel that they have a low IQ voter base, they won't realize how stupid this stuff sounds. So now here's this man talking about that door is normally open, but it was locked. When I go to a door and I push it and it goes, I don't go throw a shoulder into it. I don't say, well, where's the nearest fire alarm? I'm going to pull that and maybe that'll open the door. That right there that's all he has left. That's the last ditch effort excuse. And regardless how stupid this excuse sounds, it's all he got. That's all he got. He probably like, dang, I ain't know a camera was there, man. Man, I hope Hakeem Jeffries got my back on this. Because you think he came up with this on his own? Milk Dud has no brains. That's an empty Milk Dud we're looking at. That is one hollow Milk Dud. So somebody probably, hey, Jamal, go down there and pull the alarm. You want me to do it? Yeah, go, man. Hurry up, man. Go. I'm on it. Without even thinking it through. So Milk Dud goes down there, and now he's lying to us saying, no, I was trying to get out the door. It was locked. So the best next thing to do was pull the fire alarm right next to the door. Unreal.
That I activated the fire alarm, mistakenly thinking it would open the door.
Thinking it would open the door. So guys, let's go back through all the years of starting with perhaps maybe preschool, all the way up to high school, through college, and in the workforce. Every time you join an organization or you start occupying a building for any extended amount of time, they go over the rules. You all know which doors you can open. You all know what not to do is pull the fire alarm. So was he so scared and panicked that, look, I'm stuck inside this door right here. I can't get out. Maybe the fire department could come and bust it down. I'm going to call them. Why not just call them like this? 911, I'm stuck down here and there's a door closed. I can't get through it. But instead, you call them by doing what? Now, did he really try to get through that door? Everybody knows that pulling their fire alarm does not open the door. We all know that. And for him trying to use this excuse only really solidify why this dude should be removed from Congress. Not only is he dumb, but he is absolutely crooked and a big fat liar. He ain't even a smooth liar like Nasty Pelosi or, what's that dude out in California? That dude, the one dude, the nuisance. Yeah, he ain't even a smooth liar. This dude, right? That door, I went to the door and there was a chain on it. So the best next thing I thought to myself, instead of turning around and going back the other way for another door, I said, maybe this fire alarm will break that chain off the door and make it open. Sorry. That's it?
I regret this and sincerely apologize for any confusion this caused. But I want to be very clear, this was not me in any way trying to delay any vote. It was the exact opposite.
The opposite. Now there we go. Democrat logic. Democrats say the darndest thing when they say, now let me be clear. You know what comes after that, y'all? Let me be clear. I did not have relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. Whenever they say that, let me be clear. I'm about to be absolutely unclear. Okay? That's exactly why I said, let me be clear. That's exactly what this dude did. So, here we go.
I was trying urgently to get to a vote, which I ultimately did, and joined my colleagues in a bipartisan effort to keep our government open.
Now, don't try to pivot. I was trying to get to the vote, and look what I ended up doing, though. I made a difference and got to my colleagues, and we had bipartisanship and stuff like that. Now, I would think that if I'm the man responsible for pulling the fire alarm that would make the whole building be evacuated, knowing that the fire department would be coming straight to that fire alarm, knowing that it leaves the powder on the hands, knowing all of that, knowing that I've made a mistake, instead of me breaking out like the chicken pox and running away, I would have stayed there and waited. I would have came out like, hey, everybody relax. Man, that was all me. It was all me. Okay? My bad. I wouldn't make the fire department have to go through a quick investigation to find out that it was me. I would have came right out like, oh, snap. I would have made a phone call real quick, like, hey, y'all, I just accidentally pulled the fire alarm. I'm down here right now at door, whatever. Call to the fire department or whoever and let them know, calm down. This is not a real emergency. But what does he do? I'm out of here. He breaks out.
I also met after the vote with the Sergeant at Arms and the Capitol Police at their request and explained what had happened. My hope is that no one will make more of this than it was.
And I wonder how hard those Capitol Police and Fire Department was laughing as he gave them that excuse. I would have been like, all right, tell me again how you thought the fire alarm would open the door. I would be nudging all my friends. asking them the same question again so we can all enjoy it over and over again. Hey, ask them the part about how the fire alarm was supposed to open the door. Go ahead, go ahead. They should have been cracking up. So now he has to look stupid standing there in front of grown professional people and explain why I thought that would be a rational thing to do. I mean, he could have did so many other things if this was the case. I was rushing. I thought I was going to be late. The door's locked. How about this? Hey, Hakeem, I'm down here on the floor. The door's locked. I'm turning around. I'll be there in a few minutes. So many other options. But Milk Dud, no. His Milk Dud brain said, hey, look at that fire alarm right there. I bet you that's the key to my freedom. Ring!
I am working hard every day, including today, to do my job, to do it well, and deliver for my constituents. Now, we have been told by Capitol Police that they are working to investigate this situation.
Good.
If we do get updates on that, we'll bring it to you live, raw, and unfiltered, as we do on Live Now.
Wow. Capitol Police. Woo-wee. So we already got the facial recognition. We got the confession, even though it sounds dumb as heck. We all know what happened. So now look at the face of the insurrectionist. Who's laughing now? Look at the dummy.
The more you stick around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never stick around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful.
I hope that lesson's helpful. Don't be a dummy. But see, here's the problem. Black Democrats that are in Congress think they're actually there because the Democrat Party just embraces them and loves inclusion, and they're all about diversity and stuff like that. And all they got to do to figure out if this is true is to stop for a second and look at the same qualities that all the Black Democrats possess that are in Congress. The Democrat Party will only embrace you and elevate you if you are an angry Black Democrat progressive person. That's it. They don't want independent Black Democrats in Congress. They don't want Black Democrats in Congress that don't have issues about racism and discrimination. Black Democrats that they can always use to bubble wrap themselves from criticism. See, that's what they need. They need impulsive, non-thinking Black Democrats to be in that party so that they can manipulate them all around the chessboard like they did this fool and many others. That's what they want. They don't want a Black Democrat in there that disagrees and ain't mad for nothing and ain't quick to jump out there and accuse everybody of white nationalism and racism. They don't want Democrats like some of the Republicans who are independent thinkers. They use rationale, common sense. Now I'm not saying all Republicans are perfect, but they don't do stupid stuff like this. They don't do stupid. Do you understand if I was a Republican congressman and they said, Kev, man, we in trouble, man. Go out there and put a fire on. I'm like, man, what? Man, are you for real? You come straight out of a comic book. I would have to go ahead and hit him with the old school Enter the Dragon, man, with Jim Kelly. Man, are you for real? You come straight out of a comic book. How about you go and pull that alarm yourself? Don't send me to do the dirty work. But this dude, you can't tell me that was all a part of his own diabolical plan. Somebody probably was like, Jamaal, go ahead. I'm on it. So now let's see. Let's examine this guy's intelligence and his character because, see, that says a lot about how this guy is, what he might do, and so on and so forth. So let's see how he acts in a normal situation.
Teachers to carry.
Carry guns?
Jeez, Milk Dud.
Calm
down.
Look at the data.
Get out my face, Milk Dud. You all up in my space, Milk. Can I get a word in, Milk? Why are you so emotional, Milk? What is all this, Milk? You hear, Milk? You see the dud? You see the Milk Dud right there knowing he's causing a scene. knowing that all these cameras are on him. He wants a little sound bite. He don't want to hear what this man got to say. He don't want to debate that man. He don't want to use any logic or statistics. That man can't get a word in, and Republicans don't respond like this. That's why they bring in the loud for nothing, emotional, worst representation of black people Democrats that you can find. Because that's an MO of a ghetto black person right there. Nah, forget that. Don't want to hear what you got to say. You ain't hearing me though. You ain't feeling me. See, man, look, man. Whole time, I would feel you if I could just get you to calm down a bit so I can just state my point. Knowing that this gentle white man right there is not going to overtalk him. And if that white dude right there raised his voice, then they would accuse him of being massa. They would say, all right, he's talking to me like he's a slave owner now. He should have been like, hey, Milk Dud, settle your big fat black butt down. Make me have to Benny Hill you. Can I get a word in, Milk Dud? So Milk Dud want to bring all the reporters in the yard. Okay, that's what he's doing for show. He's the aggressive, over the top misrepresentation of black people that you could find. Angry for nothing, loud, and won't let nobody else get a word in. So yeah, I think Milk Dud might have been the person that would do something like that on purpose.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
You listen to what I'm saying?
Don't get children
Look,
dying.
look at this. Look at this.
9-year-old children. The solution is not arming teachers. That's going to work in the school.
Now listen to the two different tones. It's working. We're trying to sound like a caveman. Cavey wavy. I don't know what that is. You know, this is an embarrassment, and I wonder if he even knows it. Nothing about this looks good. Only stupid radicals think this type of debate is good because they don't want to hear what you got to say. They automatically assume they're right. And so if I'm a radical liberal, I'm like, that's right. You get in that fascist face and don't let them talk. Uh-huh. Yeah. You tell that radical fascist how you feel. Uh-huh. Because fascists and white nationalists shouldn't have the right to talk. This is why you get these type of protests out there. Democrats, they do this, and then their voters mimic this type of, protest, this type of debate. It filters down. That's why when you get with a liberal and say, hey, can I have a talk? However, the other night I had an interesting debate with a Jewish man who is liberal, and we had a very civil debate. Almost until about 3 in the morning, man. It was ridiculous. So maybe one day he'll be so kind to come on to the show. He was willing to listen, and we had a very delightful discussion. And that's something I really would love to do. I don't get a chance to debate many people who are like liberal. They just avoid me. So it's fun when I can find somebody who actually gives a good argument. All right, so let's get back to the angry black man.
Have you ever worked in a school?
Oh,
Have you ever worked in a school?
Have you? And if you have, I'm concerned. Kids, come in, have a seat. Man, what you doing? Look, man, you go. If you're acting like that in front of all of the kids, I'm concerned. Now, this man says he was a former principal, but you telling me you don't know nothing about no alarms, no fire alarms? Are you kidding? So let's see when defending evil makes you look stupid. This is what corrupt, evil, funky behind identity politics, corrupt Democrats do. They always protect their own, even at the expense of looking stupid. When you get out there and you know this dude is a fraud and this dude actually pulled out on purpose, but you got to go out there and run cover for him. So this is when protecting evil makes you look stupid because everybody else is going, yeah, that dude pulled that alarm to stop it. But now here they come. Just like they do with Joe Biden. There absolutely no evidence, nothing happened here. So now let's go and observe them all making fools of themselves to try to make this make sense.
About the accusation that Congressman Jamaal Bowman is accused of pulling a fire alarm in a congressional office building, and what are the next steps here?
I haven't seen the video. Until I see the video, I'll have no further comment.
You don't need to see the video, Hakeem. He's one of your boys. And see, this is what happens when you use politicians to do dirty work. You can't fire them. You can't come down hard on them. He did something that benefited all of them. You know, they all were in favor of that. They all needed a distraction and a delay. So not one of them could really come out and condemn this man. Can't do it. Because I'm sure if they tried to flip the script and say, man, this dude is an embarrassment to the Democrat Party, I'm sure at some point he probably would be like, hey, so-and-so told me to do it, or at least suggested it. I don't think Milk Dud sat there in that audience and said, you know what I think it'd be a good idea? Knowing that I could come under pressure and heat from my own party, knowing that I might embarrass the party, knowing that, you know, the leadership might say, hey, Milk Dud, man, what are you doing? Hey, you got to go. We didn't tell you to do that. You went too far, man. Knowing that, you think Milk Dud went on a solo mission to do that? So that's why now all of a sudden, his dumb, corrupt party got to come out and pretend that Milk Dud didn't do it. It was innocent mistake.
Interesting moment over the weekend.
Speaking of which, we got Milk Dud and Bubblehead
Bowman. He's under investigation for this now after Capitol Police say he pulled a fire alarm in one of the House office buildings. Democrats were trying to delay a final vote on the bill. There he is pulling the fire alarm. He says it was an accident. He thought pulling the alarm would open a door based on the fact that the doors to his right there were locked, and there was a sign that he said he was. I think someone said it was confusing. I'll be honest, it doesn't really make sense to me, his explanation.
Now, you know it's bad when fake crapper got to come out. I'll be honest, it doesn't. See, this is the second clip I had to use where fake crapper had to look at a Democrat who, because they're corrupt and evil, got to defend evil at the expense of looking stupid. Her crew member, Ayanna Presley, was on my last live show, trying to tell us with a straight face while she's talking to fake crapper that the border was secure. And even fake crapper had to go, let me get this. You really think the border was secure? See, when people ask you like that, that means that they're saying, I got to question your intelligence. You just said something so asinine, so crazy that I got you. Wait a minute. The double take? What, did you just say? That should let you know that they're looking at you like a dummy. So now AOC is about to play the role of the dummy, but she's not really playing a role. She's actually dumb. So let's hear her defend Milk Dud.
Have you talked to him? What's going on?
I mean, listen, I think if you actually do see some of the photos of the signs, I think there's something to be said about the government's about to shut down. There's a vote clock that's going down. The exits that are normally open in that building were suddenly closed.
So he pulled the fire alarm?
So
See? Did you hear fake crapper? You should hear it in the voice, Bubble One. So he pulled the fire alarm? That means what you're saying, trying to defend him, makes no sense. Rational thinking people would hear you start off saying that and you go, so wait a minute. Everything you just mentioned should not mean that dude should have pulled the fire alarm. That's your excuse? So he pulled a fire alarm? You want me to sit and entertain this lame defense that you're drawing out for this dude? But she's not going to stop. Yeah, she's going to do a Jamaal Bowman right here on TV by making up a stupid excuse.
What I am here to say is that House administration and U.S. Capitol Police and Jamaal Bowman are an active, and he's fully participating in saying there was a misunderstanding. But what I do think is important to raise is the fact that Republicans, representatives like Nicole Malliotakis and others, immediately moved to file motions to censure, motions to expel, before there has even been conversations that are finished to even see if there was a misunderstanding here.
Of course. What is the misunderstanding? See, now we got to give a lesson for dummies because apparently she don't know how to evaluate obvious evidence. This ain't one of those, I heard Jamaal Bowman pull the fire alarm. That's him right there? Okay. Let's see his body language. Okay, why did he just go straight over to the alarm and pull it? Why did he just take off running? See, I don't need much evidence. If this goes to court, we'll be there for like 30 seconds. They wouldn't even, all right, ladies and gentlemen, have a seat, swear them in. All right, we only have one form of evidence to submit. Click. It's a 30-second clip. That's Jamaal Bowman right there. As you can see, he walked right over to the fire alarm, pulled it, and ran. Click. All right, I rest my case, Your Honor. Jury may, and immediately jury be like, man, we need to go back in the back room. I'm going to speak for all of y'all. The man's guilty. That's what should happen. But here she is. We got to wait for all the evidence. Coming from the party who were talking about impeaching Donald Trump before they even were sworn in. Remember her crew member up there talking about something. We're going to go in there. We're going to impeach the MFR. For what? Coming from the people who got people in a party up in New York talking about, if I get elected, I'm going to be a pain in the butt to Donald Trump. Yeah. That's the crew. You're trying to go, and now y'all want to go through a process, then an investigation. And while they're doing that, let me go ahead and try to drag in Trump and some of the Republicans.
Here. But what they did do, while they did that, what they did not do was to commit to the same when George Santos was actually found guilty after a thorough investigation of 13 federal charges. He's indicted on everything from wire fraud to actual lying of House investigators. And they have been buddying up and giggling with him on the House floor. And they are protecting someone who has lied to the American people, lied to the United States.
Like you're doing to Joe Biden right now. So now she's trying to hit us with the anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. That's right. So now here she is talking about George Santos, which he is hilarious. I got to give it to him. Now, I do not condone the way he got in office, but he's pretty funny so far. Okay. In fact, he's going to slide in a joke in a second. You'll see. But to hear her come out and talk about, oh, they're protecting someone who lied to Congress. Do you understand how much Joe Biden have lied? We've been going over this for months on my show. Do you understand how much corruption is hanging off of this dude? From it's pouring out of every orifice, hanging off his ears, all of that. So, still tell me, AOC, what does this have to do with our eyeballs seeing Jamaal Bowman pull that fire alarm? And you're talking about an investigation needs to be. We want to hear more of his his excuses.
States House of Representatives lied to congressional investigators, but they're filing a motion to expel a member who, in a moment of panic, was trying to escape the vestibule.
Did you hear what she just said? Now, this is one defending evil makes you look stupid. She just said, he pulled that fire alarm. Let's hear it. Wait, it's so precious. Let me see. No, I won't go back too far. In a state of panic.
The United States House of Representatives lied to congressional investigators, but they're filing a motion to expel a member who, in a moment of panic, was trying to escape a vestibule.
In a moment of panic, y'all. So he creates panic because he's trying to escape a moment of panic. Now, does that make sense? See, he would have been better offline and said, I pulled the fire alarm because I thought it was a fire. I was panicking because I smelled smoke. He would have been better off saying that. So here she is saying he was trying to escape. From what? Was he trapped? Was there gas leaking in there? Huh? Was it filling up with water, AOC? But man, Democrats, they say the dumbest things. Dumbest things because they want you to just jump right over what she just said. Trying to escape in a moment of panic, the vestibule. Where was the panic? So now, instead of making a rational excuse like, dude, honestly, I was panicked because I thought it was on fire. She says the panic, then I'm assuming the panic was, I'm not going to make it to get the vote in time. Is that worth pulling the fire alarm now? I mean, is that a move that you should pull? That's like me having a meeting with my boss if I worked in corporate America. And I'm like, crap, the elevator's taking too long. And I'm going to be 5 minutes late. He gets mad when I'm 5 minutes late. Let's see what the best strategy to do, Kev. Pull the fire alarm. They just make themselves look more corrupt and dirty and dumb as they talk. Let's continue about this moment of panic.
Give me a break. And so the idea that there is somehow any kind of equivalence to someone who is actively trying to clear up a situation that he himself admits he's embarrassed. He released a statement last night. He apologized. And
well, wait a minute. Why aren't you giving a break to all of those J6 people who was like, hey, man, I don't know why y'all are arresting me. I showed up and the doors were open and folks were walking around casually in here. And I thought, man, we going in. I didn't do nothing. All I did was just took out my camera and stayed within the velvet ropes. And I was peaceful. I didn't hit nobody. I just took pictures and stuff like that. But now the FBI's at my house. I thought I could just clear this up by telling you that. But that wasn't enough though, right? That wasn't enough. Lock you up for about 6 or 7 years. But now all you got to do is listen to this man clear this up. considering they all should be charged for doing the same thing.
They are protecting someone who has not only committed wire fraud, not only defrauded veterans, not only lied to congressional investigators, but is...
Like you're protecting someone. I saw you on the floor the other day protecting Creepy and the crackhead. Not only did the crackhead abuse women, not only did the crackhead was on crack, not only did the crackhead get caught with a gun charge, not only did the creepy father he has defraud the American public, and pimp us out by selling all kind of influence to all of these countries, including our enemies. Not only all of that, but your dumb butt out there defending him. And now you're doing it again, out here defending Milk Dud. So she doesn't defend Milk Dud, the creep, and the crackhead. Let's continue.
Openly gloating about it is absolutely humiliating to the Republican caucus. And I think that they should really check their own values.
My buddy Jamaal Bowman.
Here's some more dummies. Dummies by default. So we got some dummies by default. Because, see, when you invest in the Democrat Party so much that you go through all of these hoops to just... Because, see, you can't cope with the fact that they're corrupt. In your mind, you got to make it make sense. Because you done spent all these years defending every dirty thing that they've done. Demonizing every Republican that you could demonize. And now, when one of them clearly do something corrupt, you can't justify. Your mind can't process that. You're going, it can't be my party. Are we the baddies? No, you know what? This can't be what it is. I'm going to go ahead and make myself defend some of the obvious corruption and then thus making myself look dumb. So they're dummies by default because they've invested in the Democrat Party to the point where they've compromised their common sense. So listen to them try to rationalize this. This is like a parent who, because their kid is their kid, when their kid get brought home by the police and say, all right, your kid broke into 2 cars, stole the cars, went on a joyride, wrecked it, hurt 3 bystanders, got out, ran from us, and we had to catch him and this and this and that. Not my baby. No, my baby would never do that. Well, you're biased. You've invested in your baby so long that you've overlooked that your baby is a nasty little thing. So now here they are, y'all. They can't come to grips with it.
All right, so... Okay, so Democratic House member allegedly pulled a fire alarm. He claims that it was because he was trying to get to the House floor. The video seems to, or pictures suggest otherwise. I think it was because the CR came out and he wanted more time to read the bill. But rather, again, than Congress passing a bill that would allow for him to have more time to read it, he literally pulled the fire alarm. It'd be like if I was didn't like the next topic and I pulled the fire alarm and ran out. We just can't do that.
What's absolutely ridiculous, though, is that there's MAGA Republicans that are somehow equating this guy doing this infantile.
Hiya! Now you hear the so-called bootleg Republican come off the bench. Instead of addressing Milk Dud's behavior. And that somehow the Republicans they're trying to justify. And I'm like, why don't you just shut up, piggy? Why don't you just put a cork in that big fat snout? That's what you need to do. You don't represent us. How about you come out and make a confession that you're not a Republican? So now she's going to bring up the Republican, the MAGA Republicans.
Stunt with January 6th. To my knowledge, nobody died because this guy pulled that stunt.
And to my knowledge, nobody died from J6. Mike Pence wasn't hung. Nancy Pelosi wasn't killed. But one person did die from Capitol Police shooting an innocent woman. Oh, I forgot about the mysterious 5 police officers that y'all been lying about that died on J6. But maybe Miss Piggy should go back a little further and start counting up all the lives who died during the Summer of Love, all promoted by the Democrats. Maybe she should count those lives. Nobody want to talk about those. She's a disgrace.
To my knowledge, nobody was bleeding. Nobody was attacked because of this stunt.
And I don't want to call it a stunt yet. There's going to be an investigation.
Oh my God. Did you hear Sonny the Dummy? Sonny the Dummy done came in and outdumbed herself this time. She has outdumbed herself. I don't want to call it a stunt. You're right, it wasn't a stunt because stunts supposed to be entertaining. You know, stunts are like, wow, that was risky. That dude right there, I don't know what you want to call that. That was stupid, not a stunt. It was stupid. So let's continue.
I know Jamal. And so again, I'm a little biased, but the doors that are normally open so that he could get to the chambers to read were somehow miraculously closed.
Oh,
how did that
somehow miraculously closed? It's a conspiracy, right, Sonny the dummy? That's what it is. They probably closed them knowing Jamaal Bowman would go that route. That's right. He's coming down. He's going down to the doors of the Lord. I put the chains on. Put the chains on. But we're about to find out what really happened in a second so we can help all these dummies see the light. All of these sympathizers and apologists for Milk Dud, we got to help them because they don't understand how fire alarms and stuff work.
happened? And so, yes, sometimes you're freaking out and you're in an elevator and you're pressing all the buttons.
We're saying it goes to them not having the time.
Here we go. Mama dummy. We got, the cushion coming off the bench. See, it goes to show how, so let's hear her with all of these stogies in her throat.
Quite possible that he was trying to get there and the door,
not
panic, but you know, if you're not looking, because it's a door that's normally open, you just go and you press a button.
Can you believe it? If you're not looking at a door that ain't open, you just go and randomly push a button. This is when defending evil makes you look stupid. So I don't know about y'all, but every time I push a door that don't open, like I said earlier, I just turn around and go back to another door, something like that. I assume they've locked it for a reason. What I don't do is start looking around for buttons to push. You know, I surely don't go over and say, this button, even though it clearly says fire alarm, just might be the button that unlocks these doors. That's what I don't do. But this goes to show how the liberal mind is so compromised that it doesn't allow them to see their own leaders for who they are. You can't see it. It's like finding out your mom and dad is dirty and evil. A kid that blows their mind. They're like, man, I've been walking around telling everybody, my mom and dad is the best. They were never, and you know what? And then you find out that, what? They killed a whole, there was Bonnie and Clyde? That can't be it. You will use every excuse in your head to justify why they did. I'm sure if they killed 17 people, it was a reason for them. That's why. So now let's listen to the cushion make herself look dumber than she is.
I'm so scared of it. I don't know because I don't know what I haven't seen the fire alarm button, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It says fire. Thank you. Even her own peers.
Because you have to break glass to to get to the button.
Yeah, you got to break glass to get to the button. When do you, boy, these are the dumbest people. So as we're looking here, guys, you see that? That's the door with a big old fat sign on the door. Okay. All right. So he should have stopped first and recognized the sign. It's not a small one in small print. It's big for a reason. Big, bold, white letters on a red sign. So now let me get this straight. Let me see. Let me read this. Alarm will go off. Okay. Keep door closed. It is unlocked. Okay. Well, darn it. I got to get through here. Let me look around for an alternative way to get through. Yeah, I know about that. Oh, fire alarm. Fire alarm. Door alarm. Fire alarm. You know what? I think this fire alarm should solve it all. Ring. And here them out there still making excuses. Making themselves look dumber as we go.
I don't know.
I don't know. It seems pretty fire alarmy to me.
No, it just looks like a button. I can't see the button.
I think he could. He was a little close.
Did anybody in this audience pull up a fire alarm to get out of a 7th grade test?
Brian, raise your hand. Yeah, we know you did, Brian.
I guess my point is, if you're not sure, then put it up find out what it was. As opposed to just saying, you did
Start the music, cover up the dummy.
When people pull stunts, I tend to think that they may be more full of it than he is. People who pull this kind of stunt, and you only have 3 minutes to read it. I kind of think, oh, all right, well, maybe. Because I know I would have pressed everything if you told me I had to get in there. I would have pressed whatever I had to press, get the door to open.
And you're dumb.
I knew you would expect me not to be there to vote.
And
so
you're
you
dumb.
don't know. We'll be right back.
She is a 100% bona fide dummy. Because see, the sad part about the cushion, and if Joy Behart was there, those would be the two that honestly want the Democrats to be pure so much that they would believe their own madness. That's what it should be. So this man who did this should be terminated. Not only terminated, should have charges pressed against him. And if they don't do this, woe unto the Republicans. Y'all finally got justification to go 100% in on somebody. 100% in. You ain't even got to pump the brakes to go in on this dude. So if y'all slow walk this and let another dummy skate, oh, they should have been got people like Ilhan Omar out of there. Talib, all of them. So now this guy, red-handed, literally. So now for all the dummies who just got out there and prostituted themselves trying to make excuses for this guy, let's help them out. Starting with Santos, the one that they were talking about. Check it out. Help them out. Let's go ahead and do story.
Hi, boys and girls. This is Congressman George Santos. This here is a fire alarm.
Yes.
If you lift this part here and pull this down, you trigger an alarm. Don't do it. Stay good, kids.
Boy, he gets the last laugh at AOC, who's out there trying to make an excuse for Milk Dud and all those other ones on the View. I died. Well, you know what? I mean, who knows? You just got to start pushing buttons. Something happened, I'm sure. So now he had to go out there and show them for all the kiddies. Hello, boys and girls. If you look right here, you will see a big fat red box. On that box, can anybody tell me what this word says? Fire! Fire. What is fire, boys and girls? It burns. Absolutely. Now, should you pull this button if a real fire is not existing? No. Okay, kids. Only pull this when you see a what? Fire. Okay, thank you. Go back to class. And then Marge Green has to come in and help AOC and the rest of the dummies out too. So let's go ahead and see if we could break this down in dumb terms.
When we're at the infamous door where Jamaal Bowman claims he had to pull a fire alarm to get out. Now, these doors are open on weekdays. Every member of Congress knows that. Everybody that works here knows that. But on Saturdays and Sundays, they are locked. And only certain doors are open on Saturdays and Sundays. Now, come on over here.
Come on, kids.
This right here is a fire alarm. Nowhere does it say...
Now, this is the moment where all Democrats should start feeling stupid. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene is approaching this in a form to belittle them, to expose how ridiculous they sound while they're trying to defend this dummy. So now I'm going to make you look real dumb by dumbifying this and dummy-proofing this so that y'all will look ridiculous out there on TV saying things like, well, you never know, we need to wait for an investigation, and he was scared for his life, and he was... Do it, March. Do it. Do it to a point where a kid can understand this. So it'll make the rest of these dummies look even dumber.
Pull the fire alarm to open the exit door.
Thank you,
Doesn't say that, and I think ex-middle school principals know better. Let me show you how we go when we need to go.
Come on, boys, come on.
I know this because my office is in here.
Come with us, boys and girls.
Come on, go this way.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Are y'all behind us, kids? Or should I say Democrats and dummies that follow Democrats?
Oh, look. There's stairs.
Oh, see those, boys and girls? Those are things you go up and down. Stairs take you up and down.
By the way, we had to use the stairs to evacuate the Cannon building.
You see what happens? See what happens, boys and girls, when a dummy do dumb things like pull the fire alarm? Everybody has to get up and panic and try to leave the building, boys and girls. Is that nice? No. Good. Let's continue following me so I can show y'all how stupid Bowman is.
Now, here's where you have an option. As members of Congress, we can continue to go down the stairs this way. And we can go in the basement and we can walk in the tunnel that goes under the road to the Capitol. We do that all the time, especially if the weather's bad. Or you can come around this way.
Come on, boys and girls, follow us. Here we go.
See where that says exit?
Exit, boys and girls.
Out on New Jersey. This one is open all the time.
See that sign right there, boys and girls, in that door? What does that word say? Exit. What does exit mean? That means you can go out that door, boys and girls. But Milk Dud didn't know that. So let's continue.
Not just some of the time, all the time. So let's explain very clearly again.
For all the dummies.
Bowman didn't pull the fire alarm to try to get out of the building because he had to rush to go vote.
He didn't?
I know that for a fact because I also work in the Cannon office building, and I watched Catherine Clark, the Democrat whip, make a motion to adjourn, and then within minutes, Jamaal Bowman
pulled a fire alarm, and he knew he was pulling a fire alarm because he's a former middle school principal. And then he ran out of the building and didn't tell anybody he did that. And this building was evacuated for over an hour, and Congress had to hold the vote open. That's usually only 15 minutes on the first vote. They held it open for over an hour as well.
An hour. Now, you know what would have been hilarious? To see Bowman outside on the lawn, sprinkled in amongst all the other Democrats, acting like he has no idea what happened. That would be hilarious. Yeah. So what happened, man? I was downstairs looking for y'all, man. I heard the alarm go off, and I was like, man, let me get on out of here, man. So anybody find out who did it? That's how dumb that dude is. I mean, did he not think that somebody would find out he did it? And instead of walking right up there and saying, hey, guys, I'm the one that did it, he probably was out there like, anybody see anything? Anybody see anybody who did this? I ain't see nothing. This remind me of one of the kids in high school that pulled their fire alarm and didn't realize that it leaves stuff on your hands. It leaves it all on the hands. Not to mention, we had a full-blown camera. Saw him like, ring, brought him into the office. Hey, man. Now, you understand, fire department showed up, schools delayed, kids all outside, for nothing. Hey, man, did you pull the fire alarm? Nope. Now, this is where it gets tricky. I'm going to ask you again. When somebody does that, that's letting you know they know something. I'm giving you a chance. I'm going to ask you again. Did you pull the fire alarm? No, man, I ain't do nothing. Okay. Click. There it is. Ring. And he gave dumb excuses too. So here Jamaal Bowman probably standing outside with the rest of them looking around like, did I do good, Jeffries? So let's continue here.
There's some serious problems for Jamaal Bowman, and he needs to be prosecuted for violating the same federal law that they are prosecuting January 6 defendants and President Trump.
That's the type of MAGA Republican I like. I don't want no softcore MAGA Republicans. So let's now discuss, before we leave, accountability. What should happen to milk that head?
And what do the Democrats do? The first thing they do is do a motion to adjourn the House. Now, we had less than 12 hours to go before midnight tonight deadline.
Yeah.
They do a motion to adjourn, followed by a bunch of speeches to delay a vote.
All of it.
And then our fellow colleague from New York, Jamaal Bowman, a member of the Socialist Squad, actually pulled the fire alarm to create a fake emergency to prohibit a vote on the House floor. I mean, this is the United States Congress, people. This is not some New York City public high school. And
no, well, with the Democrats, it creates the circus there. See, when they come onto the floor, they come with their own background music. That's what they do. They turn the whole Congress into a big fat circus all the time. Whenever they get up and grandstand, whenever they get up and lie, whenever they get up and make excuses, all the shenanigans they pull, they are an absolute disgrace to our whole entire country. So what should happen to milk that egg?
so I'll tell you this much. What he did was a federal crime, and I'm putting in a resolution to expel him from Congress. I hope he's going to be charged with the federal crime that he committed today.
Me too. I love her. She's an extremist, I guess, MAGA Republican. So now, how do you think they would have responded if a Republican would have pulled that type of stunt? You think they'd have waited to the evidence? They might have requested that the whole Republican Party step down. All of you need to step down. So now, let's listen to Papa Republican right here and see what he got to say about this.
Mr. President, comment on Congressman Jamaal Bowman that pulled the fire alarm in the Cannon building and disrupted the
So I think what Bowman, I don't know Bowman at all, but Jamaal Bowman, a congressman from New York.
The one was laughing at you?
Did something that was as bad or worse. You look at what's happening to the J6ers, and they're putting them in jail for years and years. And this guy pulled an alarm system. And to show you how corrupt they are, he then said when he got caught, he didn't know he was on tape. I mean, I don't know how you can be in the Capitol and not know it, especially after what happened.
Because he's a dummy.
He was trying to get into a door. He thought he was opening a door. It was a door 2 feet away. He thought he was opening a door.
Yeah,
it's a
that's what he
red
did.
box that says fire alarm on it. He thought he was opening it. This is the crap, and then they let him out.
This is the crap. See, this is a no nonsense, no crap person. See, thank you. That's why they hate Donald Trump. He just identified the fact just to show how corrupt they are. You know they sent that dude to do it, so they can't come down on him too hard. They're going to defend him with their life. Not to mention, door here, alarm here. Did you think you would put alarm and then that wall would open up that the alarm was on? Because the door was locked. So what did you think? Oh, maybe this is a magical wall right here. And this alarm right here is the door the thing that opens the wall. What would you think? There's no excuse in the world this man could come up with. And yet they try to belittle our intelligence by coming out here and saying that. And now Trump got to call it out. So what should happen to him, Trump, after what we've seen happen to all of the insurrectionists and stuff from J6?
Because he's a Democrat, radical left lunatic, and he should be prosecuted the same exact way as the J6 people were prosecuted. And they've been treated, many of them have been treated more unfairly than anybody in the history of our country. And I don't know if I should be saying that because I don't know what these people behind me say, but I'll bet they agree with me. There's never been anybody treated so unfairly just about what they've done to the J6ers is terrible. And Bowman went and he pulled an alarm, and you could have had riots, you could have had everything else, and he did it during a vote.
During a vote.
And he should be treated the same exact way.
But
and
will
we'll
he?
see what happens.
But will he? Is the question. And will the Republicans insist? That's the bigger question. That's what I'm concerned about. But Marge Green, she's straight to the point. What do you think, Marge?
Talk about Jamaal Bowman pulling the fire alarm. Capitol Police are questioning him right now because it's on video. This is he violated the exact same law that January 6th defendants are being prosecuted for every single day.
Well, stop the press. Stop the dang on press. Marge, you need to send a carrier pigeon with that document right there. And I want that carrier pigeon to fly right over to Mayor Garlick's office and take a doo-doo right on that document so you can stick it on his forehead for him to read. And fly off. That's what that pigeon needs to do. So he can see that this is exactly what I'm doing to go after all of the fake January 6 offenders. That pigeon needs to stick that document to his head with pigeon poop. Now, I don't know how I came up with that on my crazy imagination, but I did. And I feel I'm a better man for it. Let's continue.
He violated the exact same law, interrupting an official proceeding. And by pulling a fire alarm, it's on video, and the Capitol Police have the information.
Did you see
this is outrageous.
Look at the media.
Have you seen the video? I haven't seen the
video. We need more
yet,
evidence.
But I'm going to be demanding it. I'm demanding that the Department of Justice prosecute him the same way they prosecuted January 6th defendants. It's the exact same law.
Same thing.
Exact same law. This is outrageous. He's a Democrat representative. Here's what happened. Catherine Clark, the whip, called the motion to adjourn, and within, I don't know, a few minutes, it was literally right after that, Jamaal Bowman pulls a fire alarm while the vote was happening. You guys, this is unprecedented. The Democrats will do anything to make sure it's shut down because billions of dollars are not going to their favorite country, Ukraine.
Whoa! That's why they hate March. Insurrection. Send Milk Dud down to that door. So Milk Dud did this, and all of the J6 people are being prosecuted for the exact same thing. And you know what I love about March? She brought out the law that shows exactly what they're charging these people for and exactly what Jamaal Bowman did, and then showing how will you justify this, Mayor Garlick, when he did the same thing. I'm a make you have to put up or shut up. And if the Republican Party do not push this issue, if they let it go, if they let this just drift off into people's imagination and we're sitting back wondering, whatever happened to Jamaal Bowman? Did Milk Dud ever go to jail for that? Did they ever do anything for him? If they do this, man, I'm going to be so mad. I'm about to jump on X and start going crazy. See, I'm not a big X tweeter and all that stuff, but I'm going to start doing it, man, because our Republicans need to know that we are looking at them and saying, what are y'all doing? We're going to separate the wheat from the tares. the real deal Republicans that are about it versus you softcore ones who talk a good game and don't want no action.
But you guys, really, so Olivia Beavers has tweeted it. This is the law. This is the law. Otherwise obstructs, influences, or impedes any official proceeding or attempts to do so shall be fined
Explain this, garlic.
or in prison not more than 20 years or both. This is the law that January 6th event.
Like Enrique, who wasn't even at the Capitol. You didn't see him on video pulling no alarms, breaching the Capitol, interrupting a proceeding. No, but he got 20 years. He ain't got 20 years. But let's see if Milk Dud gets 20. That's what I want to see. I want to see if Milk Dud gets 20.
Are being locked up, they're rotting in jail, and they're being prosecuted every single day. Non-violent offenders are being put in jail for this.
You took a video over there. Did you happen to catch like a part of it? I saw you post a video on Twitter. Did you catch a part of it?
Trying to find an excuse maybe and make me look even dumber by me sitting there thinking that you would come out and make this statement and not have proof. And I mean, did you see it with your own eyes? Were you there with him when he did it? I mean, I need more evidence. That's what I need. Did you get a fingerprint from him? How about a blood sample? Any DNA?
They would bend over backwards to try to make any loophole to create any type of doubt possible to protect these raggedy Democrats, asking stupid questions.
Look, it's being reported everywhere. You can go ask the Capitol Police about it.
I would stop right there. I would say, hey, idiot. How about you, instead of asking me questions, pull out your phone. Pull it out. Google. Milk Dud pulls alarm. It'll take you 30 seconds. Instead of asking me. Oh, what? There's a video right there. See? But no, he went, did you see video of it or something?
I'm demanding the video. House admin has already reported it. They have seen the video. It's just unbelievable. He's a representative breaking the law.
Yeah. So let's see.
Damn right.
Thank you, Homer. Now, here we go. Here we go as we close. Let's check the temperature of McCarthy, who's most of the time lukewarm. I don't want no lukewarm leaders. You're either going to be hot or cold, or we as the voters to spew you out of our mouths. So now let's hear what McCarthy has to say.
Yes, sir.
What consequences should happen?
I think ethics should look at this, but this is serious. When you think about how other people are treated when they wanted to come in and change the course of what was happening in this building.
Yeah.
And did he deny he did it when it's on tape?
He made an excuse.
And
panic.
I'm going to have a discussion with the Democratic leader about it.
Oh, that's it?
But this should not go without punishment.
Okay.
This is an embarrassment. You're elected to be a member of Congress. You pulled a fire alarm in a minute of hours before the government being shut down?
So his technique is just try to embarrass you and make your party look bad, but not punish you. See, embarrassing somebody is one thing, but what deters behavior like this is punishment. People can get over embarrassment, but they ain't gonna get over punishment. If you remove this dude, because that's his only grift at this point, remove his butt from Congress, then charge his nasty stinking butt with charges that also would prevent his raggedy tail from going back into education. Because I'm assuming as an insurrectionist, that would be a felony. So now you can't be up in no school. And even if you could, if I'm interviewing you as a principal, and I say, all right, says here, you're the guy who pulled the fire alarm at the Capitol because you claim you didn't recognize what it was and you were scared. And it's not, how can I trust you with the kids? I mean, that's one of the biggest things we emphasize here at our school, that no one pulls the fire alarm. So maybe you should go into a different business. That's the stuff that makes all the dumb Democrats and corrupt Democrats say, you know what? Being dirty don't always pay. But when you see leaders like this get out there and kind of just say, yeah, exactly, we should look into it, we'll have a discussion, some consequences should come. He should be demanding the maximum consequence, because Democrats always go for the jugular. They don't go for a bite, a nibble. They don't come out just to scare you and growl. They come out to kill you every time. But here we are, slow walking, and well, we should look into it. Let's let the process play out, see what happens. But hey, this is crazy. I mean, for a senator, a congressman to do that, that's pretty bad. We all know they're bad. We all know they're capable of doing almost anything. I want to see what happens to them when they do.
Trying to dictate that government would shut down? What's going through a person's mind like that? But we will find the right ability to deal with
Yeah,
this.
we'll see.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Here's another. Let's see what he says here.
He's going to pull the fire
Actually, just one last thing. We have 20 seconds. What are you going to do? Nicole Maliotakis wants Bowman, Congressman Bowman, out. Are you going to support his ouster?
Well, first of all, we're going to go through the investigation. What's really interesting, this is a former principal. He knows what a fire alarm is. This is a man that has gone on and yelled.
We all know that.
His behavior has been unbecoming. But what's interesting, if it really was just an accident, when the Capitol Police came to interview you, why would you lawyer up right away?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you say, oh my gosh, I made a mistake here? Why would you let it go on?
What do you believe
everybody
happened?
knows
What do you
you've been
really
there long
think
enough.
What do you think happened?
You know how to get to the Capitol.
Yeah.
So you think he knew this was all on
Oh,
purpose?
everybody. If you know this individual, everybody knows. And if you've been a principal, you've had fire alarms and you've had children pull
I
fire
know.
alarms.
It's
So is that
elementary
where you
school
go to the
101.
childish action?
Yeah. Do you want to see his phone to see if Hakeem Jeffries told him to do it?
I don't. I do not believe Hakeem Jeffries would ever say to do
I do.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
And if Hakeem Jeffries didn't tell him to do it, somebody else did. That man doesn't have the brain capacity to go on a solo mission to do it. And you know that based on his execution. I mean, that man didn't think it through at all. That was one of those, they told me to do it, so I thought I could get away with it and not have any consequences. I never even stopped to think about what would happen if they catch me on odd video. I never stopped to think about how dumb I would sound when I look everybody in the eyes and say, I pulled it thinking it would open the door. He probably thought I'm immune to consequences because I'm a Democrat. See, that's what he probably thought. So we'll see what happens, but McCarthy is not talking big enough. If he said, oh, no doubt that man knew, then the next thing should come out of his mouth should be, and we want the maximum amount of punishment. This man needs to go. Don't tell me he knew what he was doing and he did this and that, and then you don't tell me this guy needs to go. It should be he needs to go. And I want to see, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene did, with bringing the evidence to justify what should happen to him. That's what McCarthy should be doing. He should be going, and here's the law according to the Democrats. This is the precedent that they set. So now, judge this man based on their aggressiveness towards conservatives. Let's see. Let's put Garlic on the spot and send that carrier pigeon over there, poop on that paper, and stick it to his dome and say, just in case you're wondering, we got a new insurrectionist in town. Go get him. Send another pigeon over there to Dango and Raggedy Ray. One for him and one for Garlic, because apparently they can't recognize real insurrectionists. So we're going to end, y'all. You know, after I had to try the whole milk dud case right there by bringing up all of that, we're going to end with when being a virtue signaling Democrat bites you in the butt. So not only are they dumb and say the darndest things, we're going to end with one of them embarrassing themselves, and it went viral. None other than Hochul, I think. I like to call her Roger Rabbit Teeth, or Bucky Beaver, and many of other names that represent someone with two big front teeth. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see what she had to say before and after the invasion. Yeah. Come on, Bucky.
It says, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled young masses yearning to be free, the wretched refuse to a teeming shore.
Get the organist out.
That statement encapsulates our values. We want people to come here, despite where they came from, or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country, into this state. We say you are welcome here. You're welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you. So our message to the world is, send us your people, send us those who need the cloak of comfort that we can demonstrate as New Yorkers with big hearts and open arms. We'll provide a safe haven. We have to let the word out that when you come to New York, you're not going to have more hotel rooms. We don't have capacity. So we have to also message properly.
This is taking a turn for the worse, y'all. This went from a nice, warm-filled love story to horror. You got to be kidding me. I was set up by the director, y'all. Boy, I tell you. So wait a minute. How you gonna go from being the hero to the villain that quick? The music lets you know when it changed.
Provide a safe haven. We have to let the word
Let's hear the music. See the music
to a teeming shore. And that statement
what happened to the Orioles?
Encapsulates our values.
The pianos.
We want people to come here, despite where they came from or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country and to this state. We say you are welcome here. You're welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you. So our message to the world is
to the world.
Send us your people. Send us those who need the cloak of comfort that we can demonstrate as New Yorkers.
Okay, you all heard her. Okay, she told us to come. She said send them all over there to the Big Apple. Let's go eat that whole apple up, man. The core and everything. We're coming to eat that apple completely up, man.
So now, as the music changes and the theme changes, let's hear how Bucky feels now.
Big hearts and open arms. We'll provide a safe haven. We have to let the word out that when you come to New York, you're not going to have more hotel rooms. We don't have capacity. So we have to also message properly that we're at our limit. If you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else. But the smarter thing is to apply for asylum before you leave your country.
Extreme MAGA. Did you hear Bucky? She done flipped the script. Now she's an extreme MAGA person. I bet you Donald Trump is right behind her right now with a MAGA hat ready to slap on her. So now Bucky went from being a hero to the villain quite quickly. See, that'll wake your butt up. Drop a whole bunch of them in your neighborhood and in your city. You wanted them? You got it. You want it? Well, you got it. So bust the move, Bucky. Bust the move, Bucky. But Bucky didn't want to bust no move. Bucky came out and wanted to bust some skulls. Hey, look, you better tell these people don't be coming out there. The door's closed. We already packed out, man. I don't care what these folk. What happened to bring all of your sick and your brokenhearted to the... And look, in New York, we've always been known as a melting pot. And let the message go out to the whole world, except like New York, because we never thought that they would actually come here. We thought that we could virtue signal and pretend that we would be prepared to handle all of this. So now we can judge all of these other states, these border states who's complaining. Because we don't fear that this will ever become our problem. So we're able to sit back and go, look at these white nationalists. Look at these xenophobes. Don't they realize the Statue of Liberty means this? And these people are coming for a better life. And see how quickly that mess turned. So now, when you see Democrats virtue signaling and saying stupid stuff, say, good, put your money where your mouth is. All right? Give you what you want so it can show you really don't want that. Really don't want that. See, it's kind of like when somebody talk a little too much trash to somebody and then that person says, okay, let's do it. What? You want to fight for real? Yeah. I just wanted to act tough in front of the people. I didn't think we was going to really throw down. Well, no. I'm not about talking. I want you to prove just how tough and how bad you is. Okay, I guess. You sure you want to fight? Yes. I was thinking maybe we could do it some other time because I got to. No. Let's do it right now. We're both here. Let's fight. Okay, hold on for a minute. Let me check. Hold on. I think. Hello, Mom? Yeah. Oh, I ain't do the dishes? Oh, snap, man. I was just about to fight. All right, fine. Man, I can't even scrap right now, man. My mom said I got to come home and do this. See, that's what's happening right now. That chick right there, out there embarrassing herself to have to retract that, and that went viral. See, show all the hypocrisy coming out of their mouth. So we'll see what happens. And we also are going to see what happens to Milk Dud Head right there. I hope that dude gets the book thrown at him. I really do. And if they don't throw the book at him, then they need to remove the book from every other person that they threw the book at. One or the other. I'm flexible. If you guys don't throw the book at him and then you let Enrique out and all those grandmothers out and all of those others that's been sitting in jail, cool. Break even. Stop hunting down conservatives that visited, stepped on the grounds. Cool. Drop this stupid J6 narrative that you're trying to use as a predicate to persecute and go after conservatives. If y'all drop that and let all them people go, fine. Even trade. Take Milk Dud. Continue letting him destroy the Democrat Party. However, if you're going to go ahead and continue your crusade against all of these conservatives, you better drop the super hammer on this dude to prove that you're not biased. And you know they ain't gonna do that. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, I heard Matt Gaetz is going after McCarthy. We're gonna see what happens with that too. I'll be back tomorrow at 7. And don't forget, and by the way, thanks for everybody who, said something kind about my dad and gave your condolences. I appreciate that. You never know what you're going to miss something until it's gone. I remember times where I'd be doing my live show and I hear old man Teddy in there screaming for no reason. And I'd have to tell y'all, I gotta go. Sorry, y'all. And y'all were so kind, so flexible. Do what you got to do, Kev. We'll be here, man, when you get back. And so I thank y'all. I thank y'all for your patience. Thank you for the kind words. Don't forget the little campaign that I'm doing here, the monthly $5 campaign. You're welcome to help support that. The link is right below this video. If you want to contribute that, we got 10 more days before the end of the 30-day campaign. Let's see if we can do a last minute push, y'all. Last minute push. So thanks to all of those who have been contributing to that, and also the super chat, and those who have sent me things as well. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. I really do. Hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. I managed somehow to pick up another sponsor, guys. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And so I'm going to be rolling out a litany of videos daily, shorts, daily of clips that comes from our live shows. So you'll see my new sponsor be inserted into that. But look forward to that. So you're going to have to check the channel every day because they're not going to send out anything. Follow me on my other channel, my backup channel, which is Stop and Think About It. And I think I covered everything. Don't forget, all of these are converted into podcasts. So if you want to hear them on podcast, there's links in the video to do that as well. Okay. God bless y'all. God bless America. We'll see y'all next time in Kev's Corner. Dang going all of this nonsense. Let me cover up my milk dud. Yeah. I know you see the apes. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kev's Corner. Take care.